Most people think better ideas come from working harder. That's usually not true. Some of the clearest ideas you've ever had probably came when you weren't trying to think at all. In the shower, during a walk, while driving, sitting on a flight with no signal. And there's a reason for that. Your brain has a system called the default mode network, and most people never let it turn on anymore. Most people are never mentally alone anymore. The second boredom appears. They open something. Reels, messages, podcasts, notifications, background noise, which means their brain stays in reaction mode all day, consuming, responding, scrolling. But the brain works differently when there's no input. That's when patterns connect. That's when your brain starts processing bigger questions in the background. A lot of people think creativity comes from adding more information. A lot of the time, it comes from finally having enough silence to process what's already there. People think random ideas appear out of nowhere. Most of the time, your brain was already working on the problem. You just finally got quiet enough to hear it. That's why ideas show up during showers, walks, long drives, workouts, staring out a window. Your attention relaxes. And once that happens, the brain starts connecting things that were sitting separately before. The problem is that most people interrupt this process instantly. The second a thought appears, they reach for stimulation again. So their brain never stays in that deeper thinking state long enough. If you want better ideas, you need periods where your brain isn't reacting to constant input. Not forever, just consistently. Even 20 minutes helps. No phone, no music, no scrolling, no videos. And during that time, don't think about everything. Pick one direction, one problem. Maybe how to make your work more valuable, what skill is worth learning next, why your content isn't connecting what decision you've been avoiding. Direction matters. Because idle thinking without direction usually becomes anxiety. But silence with direction becomes clarity. Most good ideas disappear. Even when people do get good ideas, they usually lose them. Not because the ideas were bad, because they trusted memory too much. Your brain is good at generating thoughts. It's terrible at storing them reliably. So build a capture system, notes app, voice memo. Send yourself a message. Doesn't matter. Because a small insight captured today can turn into a business idea, a content idea, a career shift, a decision that changes your trajectory later. Execution matters, but execution without clear thinking creates noise. A lot of people stay busy all day and still feel mentally stuck. Not because they're lazy, because their brain never gets enough space to process anything deeply. And eventually, constant stimulation starts replacing original thought.